Hello students, how are you? And as you can see, we are going to start with parathyroid glands, and we have already done thyroid gland and we have done an overview of the chapter, and today we are going to do parathyroid glands, and these are small glands that are embedded. This is what? This is the thyroid gland, and once again this pencil is too thick to use, and this is thyroid gland, and this is the back side or this is the posterior view of the thyroid gland, right? So if we see we have seen that there was this hyoid bone, right? And then this thyroid cartilage, and then this trachea, and then this butterfly shaped thyroid gland, and we are seeing now the back side of it, right? This was the anterior view that is I have drawn, and now we are looking at the posterior sides. So basically parathyroid glands are four in number, and they are four in number, and they are embedded. These are embedded where? On the posterior side of thyroid gland, right? On the posterior side of thyroid gland. So this is one important thing you have to know. And so basically this is telling you the location. So whenever we do an organ, we do a location. If you have been following my videos, you know it. So now let us move forward, and logically, if we see what will be the blood vessels and lymph vessels that are supplying to these parathyroid glands, think and tell me. The blood vessels and lymph vessels that are supplying, they are the same as the thyroid gland, right? So the blood vessels and the lymph vessels are the same, which are supplying to the thyroid gland. There's a few things that before going into the hormone, which hormone it is secreting, you should know about this gland also. So now let us see which hormone it is secreting. Can you tell me? Have you done your homework? I have told you that we'll be doing this parathyroid gland. So the hormone that is secreting, it is PTH. I have written, it's looking as if P is different, and so it is PTH or parathormone, or it is also known as Colles hormone, right? It is also known as Colles hormone, and this Colles is the name of a scientist who had discovered it, I think. I'm not sure, but Colles is on the name of the scientist, and it is secreted by what? This hormone is secreted by the chief cells of parathyroid gland. So it is secreted by chief cells of parathyroid gland. There are also one more cells, oxyphil cells, but the function of oxyphil cells is yet unknown. So the hormone that is secreted is parathormone, PTH, or Colles hormone. These all are different names. And if we now see something about PTH, it is a peptide hormone. It is a peptide hormone, and this peptide hormone is made up of 84 amino acids. As soon as I say that it is a peptide hormone, what should come in your mind? I've already told you about different types of hormone, peptide, polypeptide, lipids, and all. When we're doing, what is coming in your mind? Something should come in your mind when I'm saying it's a peptide hormone. When I say it's a peptide hormone, it means it will not need what? Any protein carrier, right? And it will be circulating, and it is not soluble in lipid. So what will happen? Where will be the receptor, in the cell or outside the cell? So it binds, and it is a peptide hormone. It binds to the cell membrane. The peptide hormone, this parathormone, which is a peptide hormone, it binds to the cell membrane or the receptors on the cell membrane. It binds to the receptors on the cell membrane, right? We have done this because it is not soluble in lipid, and this cell membrane is what? This is cell membrane is made up of phospholipid, right? So it cannot cross this. So there will be a special receptor. This hormone will come and join it. This peptide, this parath hormone, right? Now let us see something about the function. So if we see about the function, what is the function of parath hormone? The function of parath hormone, the first thing you should know is that it is opposite of calcitonin. Ab jaise hi I said this is opposite of calcitonin, you should know what is the function because we have done calcitonin. So what is it? It is the function is regulation of what? Blood calcium levels. Yeah, regulation of blood calcium concentration. Right? So the function is the regulation of blood calcium concentration, right? And how is it doing? How is it doing so? Basically, it acts, this parath hormone, if we write this PTH, it acts three ways: bone, kidney, and intestine, right? And by acting these three places, it is basically regulating the blood calcium concentration. Now, first let us see about this bone, how this parath hormone is working on bone. So first what we are seeing the how this parath hormone is working on bone. So basically what this parath hormone does, it influences the bone remodeling process. So you have to remember this word, bone remodeling process. What is this bone remodeling process? You should know it. It is a lifelong process. Bone remodeling, where what is happening, where the mature bone cells, first I will write and then I will explain, where the mature bone tissue or cells are removed and from skeleton, and this process is known as resorption. You'll come with this word, you will encounter this word again and again, and new bone tissue is formed. So this is what is bone remodeling. Basically क्या हो रहा है? And this is new bone tissue is formed is ossification, right? So if we see what is happening in the bone remodeling process, first of all, it is a lifelong process. First thing, what is happening in this? जो भी mature हो गई है bone की tissue, जो भी mature हो गई है, they will be removed from the skeleton. That means they'll be degraded. That is resorption, and new bone tissue is formed. That is ossification. So this is bone remodeling process, right? And this bone remodeling process also helps where? Very easy, very logical. It will also help in the injuries. Whenever there is fracture or something, this bone remodeling process will help in new bone formation. It will also help when there is any injury to the bone, right? तो अभी हमने ये समझा कि it will influence the bone remodeling process, but how will it do so? Let us see. So what will happen whenever the blood calcium level drops? It acts as a stimulus. It will stimulate the PTH to do what? The PTH will stimulate what? The PTH will stimulate the osteoclast activity. Osteoclast activity, and it will also do something to the osteoblast activity. Now, what is this osteoclast activity and osteoblast activity? Osteoblasts are the cells that are involved in that build, or they are involved in the process of building bone matrix. And what are osteoclast cells? These cells are responsible for resorption or breakdown of the bone matrix into what? Think bone matrix into calcium and phosphate ions, right? तो अब PTH क्या करेगा, किसको बढ़ाएगा और किसको कम करेगा? ब्लड कैल्शियम लेवल कम हो गया है, our goal is to increase it. हमारा गोल क्या है, इसको नॉर्मल लेवल पे लाने का, कम हो गया है. So obviously osteoblast activity is building more bone matrix, right? So obviously what will it do? It will decrease the activity of osteoblast and it will increase the activity of osteoclast, so that there is more breakdown and there is more calcium in the blood. So basically what will happen with this? What will happen? The blood calcium level will increase. Why? Because osteoclast activity is increasing, which is basically the breakdown of bone matrix, right? Now let us see what is it doing in the kidney, right? The second point was kidney. So I will write a sentence and you have to understand that, and then I will make you understand. It increases the amount of calcium that is reabsorbed by the kidneys back into the blood, right? What is happening in the kidney? It is increasing the amount of calcium that is reabsorbed by the kidneys back into the blood. So basically it is increasing the blood calcium level. How? Let us see. Generally 25 millimoles of calcium are filtered in the glomerular filtrate. We have already done this glomerular filtration in the glomerular filtrate in how many days? In 1 day, per day. So 250 millimoles of calcium are filtered in glomerular filtrate per day, right? इतनी ये filter हो रही है. Please try to imagine it. Please understand it. अब इसमें से क्या हो रहा है, 250 में से 245 millimoles reabsorb हो जा रही है. It is getting reabsorbed, and this reabsorption is taking place where? This reabsorption generally takes place in PCT, proximal convoluted tubules. Around 60 to 70% of this reabsorption takes place in proximal convoluted tubule, and additionally it also takes place in the loop of Henle, right? So basically क्या हो रहा है, ये जो भी ये फिल्टर हो रही है, ये रीअब्सॉर्ब हो जा रही है. जो भी कैल्शियम 250 मिलीमोल फिल्टर हो रही है, उसमें से 245 मिलीमोल्स रीअब्सॉर्ब हो जा रही है. और ये रीअब्सॉर्प्शन मैक्सिमम कहाँ हो रहा है? दिस इज हैपनिंग मैक्सिमम इन द प्रॉक्सिमल कॉन्वोल्यूटेड ट्यूब्यूल and additionally in the loop of Henle. Now we have to see what this PTH is doing. So there is this circulating parathormone or Collips hormone. It will influence what? It will influence distal tubules and it will also influence the renal collecting tubules, right? Renal collecting tubules. और finally क्या होगा? It is influencing in what? It is influencing in reabsorption, and finally what will happen? It will directly do what? It will directly increase the calcium not resorption, reabsorption, right? And so finally what will happen? The blood calcium levels will increase. So the blood calcium level will increase, and this was our goal, right? So basically हम समझ गए ये फिल्टर हो रहा है इतना 250 फिल्टर हो रहा है, उसमें से 245 तो एब्जॉर्ब हो रहा है, बट अब सर्कुलेटिंग पीटीएच क्या करेगा, इट विल आल्सो इन्फ्लुएंस डिस्टल ट्यूब्यूल्स एंड रीनल कलेक्टिंग ट्यूब्यूल्स and more calcium reabsorption will occur and blood calcium levels will increase, right? चलो ये हो गया किडनी पे. Now we have to see in the intestine. Now we have to see in the intestine. What is happening on the intestine? Oh, there is one more thing which I think I should tell you, right? On the kidney, one more important way in which PTH is affecting. It is decreasing the reabsorption of phosphate ions. It is decreasing the reabsorption of phosphate ions at where? At the proximal convoluted tubule. राइट तो क्या करता है, ये डिक्रीज हो गया, इसका रीअब्जॉर्प्शन डिक्रीज हो गया, तो जो फॉस्फेट आयंस हैं in serum, they will form what? They will form some salts that are basically insoluble salts with calcium. ठीक है? Resulting in what? Resulting in decreased plasma calcium. और जब ये decreased plasma calcium हो गया, अब basically क्या हो रहा था कि इसका phosphate ions का reabsorption कम हो गया था, तो इसकी वजह से क्या हो गया, there is more ionized calcium in the blood, right? तो यहाँ पे भी हमारा गोल क्या हो गया, there should be more calcium in the blood. Now let us, hope you have understood this. I'm not going fast, right? Because it is not very difficult. Kidney, let us revise again, once again. 250 millimoles filter हो रहे थे glomerular filtrate में per day. 245 reabsorb हो रहे हैं. Where reabsorb? In the blood. इसमें से मैक्सिमम पीसीटी में हो रहा है और कुछ रीअब्जॉर्प्शन लूप ऑफ हेनली में हो रहा है. सर्कुलेटिंग पीटीएच क्या करेगा, डिस्टल ट्यूब्यूल्स और रीनल कलेक्टिंग ट्यूब्यूल्स में रीअब्जॉर्प्शन कराएगा, ब्लड कैल्शियम लेवल बढ़ जाएगा. और रीअब्जॉर्प्शन ऑफ फॉस्फेट आयंस एट पीसीटी कम हो रहा है, तो उससे क्या हो रहा है, मोर आयनाइज्ड कैल्शियम इन द ब्लड. राइट, नाउ लेट अस सी हाउ इट इज अफेक्टिंग अवर इंटेस्टाइन. Right, how this PTH is affecting the intestine. Basically intestine में क्या होता है, जो पैराथॉर्मोन है, it increases the activity of 1-alpha hydroxylase enzyme. ये इसकी एक्टिविटी बढ़ा देता है. ये एक्टिविटी क्या होती है, what is this enzyme doing? This enzyme, I'll tell you, this enzyme is changing the 25 hydroxy cholecalciferol to 125 dihydroxy cholecalciferol, right? अब ये क्या है और ये क्या है? 25 hydroxy cholecalciferol, it is the major circulating form of vitamin D. Form of inactive vitamin D. Inactive vitamin D. तो PTH ने क्या करा, उसने 1-alpha hydroxylase enzyme की एक्टिविटी को इंक्रीज कर दिया, which is converting this enzyme 1-alpha hydroxylase is doing this reaction. Okay, so जब इसकी एक्टिविटी इंक्रीज हो गई तो इनएक्टिव फॉर्म से एक्टिव फॉर्म ऑफ विटामिन डी बनने लगा, right? And which will eventually do what? Which will eventually increase the blood calcium levels, right? And it will eventually increase the blood calcium levels. This was our goal. Basically, blood calcium level बढ़ गया. क्यों? Why? Because the activated vitamin D, जो activated vitamin D होता है, that is responsible for absorbing more calcium in the intestine, right? So how parathormone is affecting the intestine is clear. It is converting 25 hydroxy cholecalciferol to 125 dihydroxy cholecalciferol, or easily you can say it is converting inactive vitamin D to the active form of vitamin D. PTH is increasing the activity of 1-alpha hydroxylase, which is catalyzing this reaction in active vitamin D to active vitamin D. When there is more activated vitamin D, there will be more absorption of calcium in the intestine. Now this all portion is clear. Now let us see how it is controlled. What is the control mechanism of this hormone? Basically, it is a negative feedback mechanism, right? So it is a negative feedback mechanism. Now we have understood all how it is working on bone, kidney and intestine. It is very easy. Suppose there is a drop in the blood calcium levels, right? What will happen? It will stimulate the parathyroid gland, which will secrete what? Which will secrete the parathormone, and this parathormone will act on bone, kidney and intestine, right? It will increase the bone resorption and kidney and intestine reabsorption, right? And which will finally do what? Which will finally increase the blood calcium levels. We have done this. Now, if we see that if the blood calcium levels is going on increasing, eventually what will happen? It has to be controlled. It cannot just abnormally rise. What will happen when the blood calcium level reaches normal? When it reaches normal, what will happen? There will be a negative feedback to the parathormone ki bas bhai bas karo, ho gaya. We don't need more of this, and this whole thing will stop. So basically, the amount, what is happening? The amount of PTH circulating in the blood is controlled by, yes, it is controlled by negative feedback mechanism, right? And we understood how it is being controlled by negative feedback mechanism. This is all about parathormone. We have done parathormone. Now let us see some of the disorders, right? Now let us see some of the disorders of this PTH or parathormone, which is also very important. So these disorders can be hyperparathyroidism, right? And hypo. We'll do this hypo afterwards. What is this hyperparathyroidism? Very easy. When there is an abnormal increase, or I should write, when there is an abnormal increase in the parathormone, right? And basically hyperparathyroidism can be divided into two types. One which is occurring within the glands, and one which is occurring outside the gland. Sorry, one which is occurring outside glands, right? So within the glands, we can say that it is primary hyperparathyroidism. In outside glands, we can say it is secondary. Generally, this primary abnormality is inside or adjacent to the parathyroid gland, right? Parathyroid gland, and it may occur, examples can be when there is, when there is some cancerous growth within this gland or near it, or when there are some there can be tumors which are non-cancerous also. And when there can be hyperplasia. What is hyperplasia? It is enlargement of at least 2 glands. How many are present? 4. So agar at least 2 glands mein enlargement hai, तो we say it hyperplasia, and that's a primary hyperparathyroidism. Secondary one, it is important, it is not directly linked to the physical abnormality, right? That was linked to like some tumor hai, growth hai, enlargement hai, to primary hai. Secondary में कोई physical abnormality से directly linked नहीं है, abnormality से linked नहीं है, not directly to physical abnormality. PTH high हो जाता है तो उससे किडनी के स्टोन्स हो सकते हैं, which can be very painful. So that there is no physical abnormality, right? Kidney stones में. चलो, and basically इसका जो primary वाले का एक कभी-कभी question आता है, इसका cause generally inheritance होता है, right? इसका cause generally inheritance होता है. Now let us see, ये तो हमने किसकी बात की? We studied about hyperparathyroidism. Now let us study about hypoparathyroidism, right? The second abnormality which we have to study is hypoparathyroidism. I hope you are writing and making notes. ये कोई YouTube में मस्ती नहीं चल रही है ना, पढ़ाई चल रही है. तो basically क्या हो रहा है, इसमें abnormally low levels हो जाते हैं PTH के. इसमें क्या होगा, जब calcium levels in the blood में जब calcium level deplete होने लगेगा या कम होने लगेगा, when the calcium level will come down in the blood, there will be a condition that is known as tetany. What is tetany? Tetany is basically involuntary twitching or cramping of the muscles, right? मतलब you don't want it, but when you want, then only you move your hands and all, no? But it is involuntary cramping or involuntary twitching. Twitching of the muscle, right? Okay, तो इसमें क्या होता है, कभी कभी along with calcium levels तो कम हो ही रहे हैं, उसके साथ क्या हो रहा है, unusual high levels of phosphate ions भी हो जाते हैं, right? और अगर हम कुछ और देखना चाहें तो इसके symptoms क्या हो सकते हैं? What can be the symptoms of hypoparathyroidism? Cramps, right? Aches in the muscles of legs, or lethargy, and dry and uneven skin, and what else? Patchy hair loss, right? So calcium depletion से क्या होगा? It's very logical. अगर calcium depletion हो रहा है तो उससे क्या होगा, जो bones होंगी वो strong होंगी या fragile हो जाएंगी? Fragile हो जाएंगी, brittle हो जाएंगी, easily break हो जाएंगी, right? अगर calcium depletion हो रहा है, इससे stunted growth भी हो जाती है, right? बच्चे अच्छे से बढ़ नहीं पाते if there is calcium depletion. So basically this was all about parathormone. Not too much, but yes, it is an important hormone. We have done it, and we have done how it is working on bones. How this parathormone, we first studied about the location, right? Then we studied about the nature, that it's a peptide hormone with 84 amino acids, right? Then we studied about how it is working on bones, bone resorption, and we learned about osteoclast, osteoblast. When I'm saying this, the whole lecture should go in your mind. How it is working on kidney, how it is increasing the level of calcium in the blood by working on influencing where? By influencing renal collecting tubules, right? The calcium absorption in renal collecting tubules and think and distal tubules, right? And what else? We studied about how it is increasing in intestine, right? The vitamin D1. And then we studied about the disorders. So we have done this much in PTH. Now the next lecture we'll be doing about thymus. So guys, I hope you are studying nicely. You're staying home. You're staying safe. You're not getting depressed. You're eating well. So there are few things which you should always keep in mind. I will make a video on that also. Guys, please don't, no daydreaming. Okay, you're still studying. You're not still a doctor. You are a student. There should be no daydreaming. There should be healthy eating. Don't eat, chips and burger and all that will make you sleepy. You should be focused and you should be happy. The most important thing is you should be happy and you should be ready to learn, right? And you should be ready to learn. So just stay focused, eat healthy, don't daydream, play and exercise. It's very important, right? So it's where all these things you follow. Just follow me. I'll be putting all the lectures. If you want, you can share it with your friends, and if you want, you can like it also. And kindly study. The main focus, the main objective to make this video is that you study. Whether you share it or you not share it, that's up to you, but the main objective is that you should study. So guys, please study hard. It is your future. Okay, so stay home, study hard, be happy, eat healthy. Bye bye, see you.